Let's just go across to Sajad Lone, who's joining us on the phone line. Thank you very much, Mr. Lone, for joining us on the phone line there. Your first reaction, to the assembly being dissolved and clearly the governor also defending his decision.
Well, we had the numbers, and that too within the ambit of legality. There are constitutional outcomes in case of a hung assembly or in case where there is an impasse. We had staked a claim, and Governor, His Excellency, the Governor, decided to dissolve it. So what can one say? But we had the numbers, and that's why we staked the claim.
The governor also goes on to defend his dissolution decision and says that, it was because he wants a stable government, not one that is dependent on defections.
Look, I'll tell you something. When I say constitutional, it is as laid down by the J&K Constitution. I have yet to come across a word called defection in the Constitution of J&K. Something which is allowed by the Constitution is constitutional.
Right. Also, there is now a war of words breaking out and a blame game going on. A lot of criticism for the timing of this decision by the governor. Many saying that, in fact, both the parties had been demanding the dissolution for a very long time, for many months, in fact.
Look, I can't comment on that, but then holding elections in the state of J&K is not a very easy thing. You can't hold them on a daily basis. And even yesterday, where was the letter of support? It was all in the media, from either Congress or from the National Conference. We yet to see any letter of support. Even if you see the letter sent by Ms. Mehbooba Mufti Sahiba, it talks about media reports. Just take the trouble of reading that and whether it adds up to a claim or not.
Right. So also, why is everything since yesterday playing out on Twitter? Why on social media?
Well, it's a very it's a very easy medium to get. You just go on the phone and print it out. Just type some words. So that is something which is the norm of the day. So I don't see anything unusual in that. But having said that, you also have to take into account one thing. In this entire thing, with the plot that you're missing is that two dynasties who are like what Congress and BJP is at a pan-India level get together to keep a third regional force out. This is the extent to which they will go to cling on to power. That is the takeaway from this whole episode, nothing else. Anybody who is a Kashmir analyst or understands Kashmir would know that the only takeaway is that the dynasties will go to any extent to be in power and keep any newcomer out. No ideology, no principles, all their statements, no morality, all their statements against each other are a piece of theatre, nothing else.
Well, Mr. Abdullah actually in that press conference went on to say that he took this decision, even sacrificed the position of the Chief Minister, knowing that, this would benefit the larger good of the state and not just his political party.
That is a favorite statement of every politician when they have to, jump in and make compromises. We all know what sacrifices and how many sacrifices. This is clear-cut. They came together only to keep a third regional force out. But this is not going to work. We will not rest until we take the dynasties out of J&K.
Also, sir, the BJP is saying that if anybody goes against this governor's decision or criticizes it, it's anti-national.
That you can ask them. I have not come across that statement. I cannot comment on that, what they have said, neither, because I've just come. So I have no idea what they have said, that it would be in a better position to ask them. But this so-called show of morality, this show called that we are here to protect the state, is all lies, nothing else. Old theatre.
Did you try and reach out to the governor yesterday, staking claim to to form government?
Sorry?
Did you reach out to the governor yesterday, staking claim for government? Because the governor clearly says that he did not receive any message from either you or Mehbooba Mufti.
I called His Excellency, the governor, and I told him that I'm ready to stake the claim. And then he asked me to fax it. And unfortunately, there was a problem in the fax. Then we got in touch with the private secretary, who asked us to WhatsApp it. We WhatsApped it. And in fact, we asked him for a receipt, and he wrote an okay, which I have put on the Twitter. Yes, we had staked our claim much before. If anybody should be angry, it's me, but I'm not. At the end of the day, the governor has the discretion to take a decision which he deems fit is for the state of J&K.
Right. So we've also had BJP Ram Madhav on, saying that anything which is against the BJP is now being seen as a Pakistan conspiracy. Why is that so?
No, I don't know why you are asking questions, statements made by the BJP people to me, but I don't think this is it. I did see a Twitter spat wherein apparently about allegations that this was dictated from across the border for the two parties. I did come across that, and I did also see an angry rebuttal by Mr. Omar Abdullah, but I don't know why on the national channels Mr. Omar Abdullah is making such a song and dance. This is a norm there. Everybody knows it happens. Everybody in Kashmir, ask a kid, they know it happens. They are in touch with people. It's a normal thing there. And when you meet someone or make a contact, you don't give a receipt, so there are no proofs. You don't issue a receipt that I met person A or I talked to somebody on phone. It's a normal thing. We all know it. Even a kid in Kashmir knows it. Why is he creating such a song and dance?
Mr. Lone, Mehbooba Mufti says that Congress, NC and the PDP have together at least 56 lawmakers. How do you say that you have more than 44?
Look, I'll tell you something. This would have been proven on the floor of the House. But let Mr. Omar Abdullah and Ms. Mehbooba Mufti also know that MLAs are not cattle and they are not shepherds. This is 2018, right? Most of them. And this is not 87. This is not 1996. This is not 2002, right? The MLAs have a right. They have their own rights, and if they collectively get together, which is permitted by the Constitution, they can make their own decisions. Have they talked to even a single MLA of theirs? One MLA, apart from barring 2 or 3. Go and check it. These aristocrats have not talked to even a single MLA of theirs. In fact, they were issuing statements against each other. Why don't you check the local media? I don't know, there is this view with the media in Delhi lives in its own biases. Go and check the local media. They were issuing statements against each other, their MLAs. They have not talked to a single MLA because the two emperors thought, the emperor and the empress thought that, okay, we're going to make an alliance. It doesn't work like that. If you talk of democracy, it has to be at the micro level, inner party too,
right,
internal too.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Lone, for joining us on the phone line.